out real estate on the counter, on the coffee table, in the corner of your room. I love this from my daughter, who does a lot of classes online, and getting all her devices off of her desktop so it's not cluttered makes her work so much more efficiently. Working at home, in the home office, get it off your desk. Put this behind the desk, put it under the desk. Great for under the television to get all those cords up off the floor. Get the Apple TV on there, the router. I hate cords. As a designer, it's one of my pet peeves, and this is a fantastic solution. My favorite place to have this in the whole house is the kitchen. I plug the socket shelf right into the side of the counter, and I put my phone or my iPad on top of the shelf, and I can look at recipes without having it on the counter. I like everything in its place when I'm cooking, and having tech around just makes it feel so messy. You know what I mean? Bathroom, another great place. Put in the corner of the bathroom, put those electric toothbrushes right on top, your little glass of hair brushes and whatnot, makeup brushes. It's fantastic to relieve that counter of all the stuff you layer on top of it. Today we are offering up to 33% off, you guys. It's a great deal. You can take advantage at asadeals.com.
There is a spray that can kill COVID-19 before it even leaves your mouth.
It is still awaiting approval from the FDA. CBS 46's Karen Greer explains.
Oral Health in America, May 2000 came out, and it said we had a pandemic of oral disease in America.
That's what motivated Janice King to start the company Now System Incorporated, with the goal of creating a special spray to help heal your mouth while killing bacteria.
We went through this for over a year of sending up samples and getting their results and saying, okay, now we got to formulate this a little differently.
But finally, she came up with a plant-based alcohol-free formula for her product, now called Triology. And with several sprays a couple of times a day, the product has gained the reputation of a strong bacteria killer. Recently, King had the product tested by a certified coronavirus lab.
The report came back that, and we only had it tested at 2 minutes, but at 2 minutes, 100% of the COVID-19 virus was inactivated.
We asked doctors what trust they put into a product like this.
All of these products, they may look in the lab to really inactivate or kill infectious virus, but we don't really know the utility of protection and even treatment of SARS-CoV-2 or COVID-19 with these products.
King says the spray could change how we fight the pandemic, especially in situations where masks aren't an option, like sports.
This is something that if they could get their teams using before practices and before games, and they could limit the amount of COVID that's spread out there.
She adds the spray shouldn't take the place of masks, but it could add a level of protection. Karen Greer, CBS 46 News.
Now on CBS 46 News at 5.
Governor Brian Kemp taking action.
Working very hard to put together a comprehensive plan for vaccine distribution.
What that distribution process will look like.
A local teacher in the fight of his life. Tonight, the community stepping up to help him beat COVID-19.
The presidential recount is underway here in Georgia. I'm Brittany Yedney, and coming up, I'll take you through that process, plus concerns some counties are having.
And now at 5, breaking news. We're getting a timetable for the distribution of the coronavirus vaccine here in the U.S. Ahead of the Atlanta-based CDC says the rollout could start as early as the second week of December. We're talking December 11th or the 12th. Officials plan to release some 40 million COVID-19 vaccine doses across the country before the end of the year. Priority would go to nursing home residents, healthcare providers, and those at high risk.
Thank you so much for joining us on this Tuesday afternoon at 5 o'clock. I'm Rick Folbaum.
And I'm Tracy Hutchins. Well, as the numbers continue to rise here in Georgia, here at CBS 46, we have team coverage. Let's begin with our Adam Murphy.
And Adam, we know the plan for the nationwide rollout of the vaccines, but what did Governor Kemp say about Georgia's statewide plan today?
Well, the governor and his team said that the CDC has approved Georgia's rollout plans when that vaccine does arrive here in our state. They are still trying to fine-tune the exact locations where that vaccine will be distributed, but said, as you mentioned, the most vulnerable will be eligible first. But they stressed, just because a vaccine is coming, now is not the time to let your guard down.
Just be smart, Use good common sense.
Governor Brian Kemp wasted no time urging Georgians to take action this Thanksgiving holiday to stop the spread of coronavirus.
If possible, consider gathering virtually or limiting your holiday gatherings to only a few people within the same household. If weather permits, see if you can gather outside to reduce the risk of exposure indoors. If you are traveling, take extra steps to socially distance from those you don't regularly see.
In addition, the governor asked everyone to follow 4 simple safety measures: wear a face mask, social distance, wash your hands, and follow the guidance of public health officials.
Let's continue to hunker down. Let's stay vigilant and resolve to act in the best interest of our fellow citizens.
State leaders also expressed concern about a significant increase in the number of Georgians getting tested for COVID-19 just days before the holiday.
If you get tested today and you're negative, it does not mean that you will not be positive in a day or 2 or 3. And so it's particularly important that we don't use that COVID test as a justification to go and not follow the guidelines.
Tell me, they have been working closely with the CDC to make sure that they have their staff on the ground ready to go when the first batch of vaccines arrive in the coming weeks. Live inside the Capitol, Adam Murphy, CBS 46 News.
And what a day that will be. Adam, thanks very much. Well, right now, thousands of people around the country rushing to get tested for coronavirus ahead of the Thanksgiving holiday. Take a look. This was the scene near Chicago. You see all those cars there lining up, dozens and dozens of them packing a parking lot as people were waiting for their turn. And check out this scene in Los Angeles. This is Dodger Stadium, believe it or not, where the Dodgers, World Series champion Dodgers usually play. Well, today it's packed with cars lined up as far as the eye can see, people wanting COVID testing. And we're seeing the same thing here in Atlanta. CBS 46's Melissa Stern joining us from Buckhead. So Melissa, good to see you. How long are lines there?
Yeah, well, they just closed at 5 o'clock here, and as you can see, they're wrapping up with the last few cars. But the people that I spoke to earlier today were waiting for about 2 hours to get a test. But they say they were expecting to wait. What they were unaware of was a coronavirus fighting tool hidden in their phones. The lines are wrapped around the block for COVID-19 testing sites as people prepare for family gatherings.
It's Thanksgiving. I mean, I'm not going to let that stop my family stuff.
More people are getting tested and being proactive. If you are rushing to get out of town or expecting family locally, millions of Americans can get alerts from local health authorities if you've been near someone who tested positive. But it only works if you and those around you have enabled them. And when I asked people in line whether they've heard of this tool,
no, I did not. No, I didn't know that. I wasn't aware.
I did not.
You can check your settings to see if it's available where you are. If you have an iPhone, go to settings, then exposure notifications and turn them on.
The more information we have, the better it is. It would make you more cautious and more aware of your surroundings and where you actually engage with others.
The Georgia Poison Center is partnering with Georgia Department of Public Health and Punch Alert to provide you with information and recommendations from local governmental officials. Punch Alert is free and allows you to receive instant updates for COVID-19.
We just want to possibly be with another, my son is coming home from college. We want to be with him for Thanksgiving. And there'll be probably maybe like 4 of us family members together, and we just want to make sure we're all good and healthy to go. I just would rather be safe than sorry.
Coming up on CBS 46 News at 6 o'clock, we talk to a cybersecurity professor about the software. Reporting live in Atlanta, I'm Melissa Stern, CBS 46 News.
Melissa, thank you. Right now, a local teacher is fighting for his life. His name is Patrick Key. He's in the hospital for the coronavirus. CBS 46's Sabrina Silva joins us live now with an update on his condition. Sabrina, how is he doing?
Well, his family says he's doing a lot better, but this is a devastating situation for him and his family as he continues to battle COVID-19. But we do, like I said, have word that he is doing much better, but he's been in the ICU for almost 10 days.
Nobody deserves to go through what we're going through.
Now, according to the family, Patrick and his wife Priscilla Key tested positive for the virus back on November 9th, but it wasn't until the 15th that Patrick's oxygen levels dropped as he was transported to the Wellstar Kennestone Hospital. His niece, Heather Welch, says in addition to the ventilator, Patrick is also on life support machine and is getting dialysis for his kidneys. And his situation has touched the hearts of many people. He's an art teacher at Hendricks Elementary School in Powder Spring and has been working for the Cobb County School District for almost 25 years. Now, Welch says this situation has taken a toll on their family and that it has been a roller coaster ride to his recovery.
We can't be with her. We can't be with him. It's hard. It makes you feel really helpless. And, it makes you feel frustrated that you just feel like you can't do anything.
Now, his family also tells us that his wife Priscilla is still recovering from the virus, but she is at home and feeling a whole lot better. But coming up at 6 o'clock, we're going to take a look at how the community is helping this family during this tough time. Live in Marietta, Sabrina Silva, CBS 46 News.
Thank you, Sabrina. The statewide presidential recount is now underway. The Trump campaign requested it after losing to President-elect Joe Biden by a small margin. This is something that state law allows for. CBS 46's Brittany Edney is in DeKalb County for us with a live look at the process. Brittany.
Well, Rick, election workers are just now returning from a very brief break. All of this as the recount process is underway. And Governor Brian Kemp, well, he acknowledged it this afternoon.
And I firmly believe that all
Governor Brian Kemp maintains Georgia has followed election law, and that will continue through the recount. The official margin between President Donald Trump and former Vice President Joe Biden is 0.25%. State law mandates that a candidate may request a recount if the vote total is within 0.5%. The Trump campaign made that request.
I continue to stand with the president, and I support his decision to ensure that every legal vote is counted.
Georgia's 159 counties will retabulate nearly 5 million ballots. This recount will be conducted by running every ballot through a scanner. Keep in mind, this differs from the previous statewide audit where the retally was completed by a hand count.
You can always see that we're trying to be transparent as possible. We're streaming it live on our website. So if you have any questions about the transparency of it, about that we're doing things right, you can always tune into our webpage and on our Twitter feed.
The governor acknowledges how divisive the process has been for the state.
Now more than ever, we must stand up for the truth, and we have to unite around our shared values. We must ignore those that want to divide us and find a way to overcome the challenges that we all face together.
All of Georgia's 159 counties, they have to wrap up this recount by next Wednesday, December 2nd at 11:59 p.m. Reporting live in DeKalb County, I'm Brittany Edney, CBS 46 News.
Thank you, Brittany. Now all new at 5, we have breaking news and car thefts continuing to be a big problem in and around the metro. But tonight, Atlanta police say they're cracking down.
Well, they tell us the murder rate in the city also is continuing to be a problem. It is the highest in nearly 2 decades. CBS 46's Jamie Kennedy joins us now to explain, give us a few more details about both of these situations, Jamie.
Yeah, well, Tracy, both of these situations are of very high concern for APD. Now, on the car sides of things, we are seeing a big increase in car thefts in Zone 2, which is the Buckhead area. Now, you can see an example of this on your screen. So police once again are pleading with people to not leave their cars running at gas stations, even for the slightest moment, as these crimes are one of opportunity. Now, the Buckhead area is getting hit hard because criminals know newer cars are in that area, and while they are recovering a number of the vehicles, many are being taken all too frequently, either by people leaving them on at the gas station or on while they're waiting for them to warm up during these colder months. Now, they also mentioned that the murder rate now tipping over 130 for the year in the city, the highest since 2003, saying there is a multitude of reasons.
Certainly, again, recognize those late night challenges with our club districts, and then of course With the number of weapons that are on the street, it seems as though a number of people choose to handle their problems by using firearms as opposed to just having conversations and walking away.
Now they also made mention of the fact that the mayor spoke about people coming from outside the city here and are making trouble at those night spots involved in those shootings. Now, Atlanta is one of the top destinations to travel to for Thanksgiving. They said there is a plan in place with their federal partners. Live at APD headquarters, Jamie Kennedy, CBS 46 News.
All right, Jamie, thank you. Let's get a look at our forecast right now with our chief meteorologist, Jennifer Valdez.
We are dry right now, but rain on the way. I'll pinpoint the timing and how it could impact your Thanksgiving Day plans right after the break.
Quick Brown Fox, is my mic on? Okay, great. I do. Yes, because I get lost. Thank you.
And welcome back as we take a live look at the White House, the scene earlier today of the annual turkey pardoning. President Trump presiding over that ceremony that happens this time of year every year. Also a big day today in terms of the transition from one administration to the next. It is a hallmark of our democracy here in the United States, and the Biden transition has officially begun now with the incoming president getting the presidential daily brief, learning about all of the intelligence that's available to our nation's leaders. That is a new development as of today. Also, Pennsylvania and Nevada making their election results official. And so there's quite a bit going on if you take a look at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue.
Yeah, it's all getting very busy. Well, today, President-elect Joe Biden made some key introductions as his administration starts to take shape. Karen Caifa has the latest from Washington.
Joe Biden preparing to write a new chapter in U.S. foreign policy with the help of some familiar hands.
They embody my core beliefs that America is strongest when it works with its allies.
The president-elect formally introduced his foreign policy and national security teams the day after the Trump administration finally formally acknowledged or ascertained the presidential transition. Leading the foreign policy team, Biden has tapped longtime aide Antony Blinken as Secretary of State.
Tony's been one of my closest and most trusted advisors.
And his top messenger to governments around the globe, a move praised in diplomatic circles.
Tony Blinken was not only Deputy Secretary of State, so he truly understands how this position works, but he was also Biden's foreign policy advisor.
In addition to emphasizing experience, Biden also keeping a campaign promise to build a diverse cabinet, including Alejandro Mayorkas, a Cuban-American tapped to serve as Homeland Security Secretary, and Avril Haines, who would become the first woman to serve as intelligence chief. President Trump, meanwhile, appearing briefly before reporters Tuesday, touting the Dow's milestone, but not taking questions.
The stock market's just broken 30,000, never been broken, that number. That's a sacred number, 30,000. Nobody thought they'd ever see it.
Then making the annual turkey pardon. In Washington, I'm Karen Caifa.
Now, CBS 46 Pinpoint Weather, certified Atlanta's most accurate forecast.
And we had another great day over North Georgia. The high temperature was 61 degrees. The low was 40, so it was a chilly day. We do have big changes on the way. Atlanta's most accurate forecast. Forecast for today was 62. We got up to 61. That is within 3 degrees. So another $50 for the Atlanta Community Food Bank. The total now $800 and counting. It also means another green check mark on our calendar for the month. And Atlanta's most accurate forecast correct for 15 straight days. Right now, still cool. We are in the upper 50s. It's 59 in Atlanta. But we're going to kind of fizzle out here overnight because we'll see more clouds after midnight. That's going to prevent those temperatures from dropping all that much. So although last night we dropped down to about 40, we'll only drop down to about 47 tonight. So it will not be as cold. That's because a cold front is on the way. It will bring some showers and it will bring increasing clouds after midnight tonight. Right now it is dry. It is pretty cloudy, though, across far north and northeast Georgia. Those clouds will increase tonight. Then tomorrow, that's when the rain moves in associated with this front. So for today, strong storms possible, especially in Oklahoma. Level 2 out of 5 risk of severe weather there. But then a level 1 risk continues across Arkansas, southern portions of Missouri, northern Louisiana. So if you are traveling for Thanksgiving, just be aware if you're heading west or northwest, you could see some severe storms. By Wednesday into Thursday morning, that's going to shift closer to us as that front approaches. And far northwest Georgia is under a level 1 risk of severe weather. So out of 1 to 5, it's a 1. And the biggest risk is going to be strong damaging winds only for far northwest portions of the state. That is Wednesday night into Thursday morning. So tomorrow waking up, it will be cloudy but dry. It's not until late in the day the rain arrives. So after 6 p.m. we will see some showers. Again, some of the storms could be strong, mainly in far northwest Georgia, with just rain expected across metro Atlanta. And that rain will continue through early Thursday morning. For tomorrow, mostly cloudy, just some showers late in the day, about a 50% chance of rain. Then that rain early Thursday will start to move out. Still seeing some rain around 5 a.m. on Thanksgiving morning, but by lunchtime the rain is out. We'll see decreasing clouds and actually a really nice Thanksgiving day. So we do have a chance of rain early in the morning. Otherwise, we'll see things dry out as they heat up. 71 degrees by 3 p.m. on Thanksgiving Day. Then more rain this weekend, especially Sunday. That's when we could see some heavy rain as a much stronger system moves in. This will bring us not only heavy downpours late Sunday, but a massive drop in temperatures. We're going to see an Arctic blast. We go from highs in the 70s to highs in the mid 40s on Tuesday. Overnight temperatures will be even colder. We're dropping down to 20s in Atlanta. Could even see some low 20s in the mountains and the suburbs. So we go from very warm to very cold with lots of rain in between.
All right, Jen, thank you. Another contentious race is just a few weeks away. And no, we're not talking about the Senate runoffs. It's the other race that you need to know about, and we'll tell you about it next.
Ooh, ruh-roh.
Welcome back. Well, campaigning for a history-making election is underway in Georgia right now.
But not for the 2 Senate seats up for grabs. Of course, we've been talking a lot about that, but rather the race to fill Congressman John Lewis's seat. As CBS 46 anchor Karen Greer shows us, it is the race that people, well, Karen, they really aren't talking about this one.
They sure are not, and you're wondering what's history making? Well, the fact that they'll only be in office a couple of weeks is one of the things. You are absolutely right about this, though. The 5th District people say, you know, who's going to be your representative in Congress? Many will say Nikema Williams, who was just elected to fill Congressman Lewis's seat come January. But now 2 well-established candidates are fighting to take over the next 6 weeks until Williams takes office.
And I've worked closely with Congressman Lewis on particular projects that are still on the books that we could kind of push a little further.
We need a leader in the spirit of John Lewis, the conscience of the Congress, who can project hope, can bring people together.
In just a few weeks, Georgians will welcome a new congressman for Georgia's 5th congressional district, but they will only serve 1 month.
Acknowledging the importance of representation during the month of December. There are several critical milestone dates in this month that the 5th District needs representation.
It's a special election to fill the seat vacated by longtime incumbent Congressman John Lewis, who died in July from pancreatic cancer as he was serving his 17th term.
Creating a COVID innovation zone in District 5. We have the CDC, we have the colleges, we have the Health Innovation Zone in my former council district. We could do all of that together.
Kwanzaa Hall, a former Atlanta City councilman and school board member, says he has grown up in the civil rights movement and he's an experienced elected leader.
I would speak in the spirit of Abraham Lincoln, who said, you know, with malice toward none and charity for all, let us come together and bind up the nation's wounds. We are a wounded nation. We are a nation in search of our conscience.
Dr. Robert Franklin is an Emory professor, an ordained minister, and 10th president of Morehouse College. He says he's a transformational leader.
I think leaders set a tone at the top.
You vote for people who will give you a seat at the table. In this case, I'm running to have a seat at the table.
Early voting is already underway. The special election set for December 1st. The term will last 6 weeks.
We check in